Rise and fall of Twitter. For many years, Twitter has been one of the most popular social media platforms, with approximately 328 million active users, making it difficult to believe that it has only been around for 11 years. Hashtags, retweets and mentions are just some of the terms that have become commonplace in today's internet jargon, and Twitter is to blame. With so many complaints about the site and how it can cause such abusive discourse, celebrity cancellations, and how much we as a society rely on it for news, it can be difficult to see the good in it. Today we will see the struggle behind Twitter and how did it become so popular. Whatever your reason for joining Twitter, you can be confident that the platform is simple to use. While you can customize your feed, the topics you want to follow and the people you want to follow on Twitter, the platform is easy to use on both mobile and PC. You can communicate with your friends and followers using the direct messaging feature. You can report, mute or block anyone whose content you want to avoid, and the list features allows you to segment the various topics you're interested in to stay up to date. A decade ago, Twitter's future was looking bright. The company benefited from a flood of funding into social networking space, eventually leading to an IPO in 2013 that raised $1.8 billion. The company is now back in private hands, and they happen to be the hands of Elon Musk, the world's richest man and one of the app's most prominent provocateurs. It's a huge moment. Twitter has become a popular forum for people to debate, joke and pontificate in their respective fields of politics, sport, technology and finance. It has also served as a platform for the voiceless, assisting protesters in the repressive regimes around the world to organise and express themselves. However, in recent years, Twitter and other social media platforms, such as Facebook, have been at the centre of controversy over the spread of fake news and misinformation, which has sometimes resulted in bullying and violence. Twitter's business model has become a source of concern for investors. The company was generally unprofitable, struggled to compete with Google and Facebook, and frequently discontinued popular products with no explanation. What follows is a brief history of Twitter, which despite its flaws is one of the most recognisable companies to emerge from Silicon Valley in the last 2 decades. How Twitter started. Twitter began in 2006 when New York University student Jack Dorsey shared a new online communication idea at Odeo, a podcasting company. But Noah Glass, Biz Stone and Evan Williams are equally important in the information in the early days of Twitter. But Dorsey's concept was a platform that allowed users to send short messages to groups of people much like text messages. The first version of this platform was known as TWTTR, and it was only used by Odeo employees. Let me tell you that Tweet was purchased in 2021 as an NFT using almost $3 million in cryptocurrency. Twitter was launched to the public on July 15, 2006. In October of that year, they formed a separate company called Obvious Corp, which purchased Twitter and the rest of Odeo from the existing investors, and in April of the following year, Twitter was spun off into its own company, which was one of their first big breaks. In the early months, the website received around 20,000 tweets per day, but this number increased to 60,000 in 2007, when Twitter was a hot topic at the South by Southwest Interactive Conference, where Union Square Ventures led a $100,000 series, a funding round for Twitter. Twitter began to gain popularity in the social media world after receiving so much attention at the South by Southwest Interactive Conference. By 2008, the website was receiving 300,000 tweets per day, which had increased to 50 million tweets per day by 2010. This social media platform not only became popular among people who wanted to share messages with friends, but it also became one of the simplest ways for businesses to advertise and interact with their customers. Soon after, TV shows and businesses began promoting hashtags and encouraging consumers to include them in their tweets, and Twitter handles quickly became a personal and professional identifiers. When Dorsey stepped down as CEO in October 2008, Williams took his place. According to journalist Nick Bilton's book, Hatching Twitter, Twitter's board fired Dorsey due to concerns about the executive management style and public boasting. Twitter's popularity grew further, leading to Williams's high-profile appearance on the Oprah Winfrey talk show alongside celebrity Ashton Kutcher. Kutcher would also write an article about Williams and Stone for the Time magazine's Time 100 issue. Twitter was starting to look like the runt of the internet litter compared to competitors like Google, Facebook and LinkedIn. Twitter was still losing money as its ad business struggled against larger competitors. Dorsey would also return to the company as CEO while continuing to lead his other company, Square. Salesforce was mentioned as a potential suitor in rumours that Twitter was looking to be acquired. Meanwhile, Twitter and Facebook were criticized for allowing prominent users, such as Donald Trump, who would go on to win the US presidential election in 2016, to spread false information without consequence. For a brief moment in 2017, Twitter appeared to be on the rise. As the company's finances improved, its stock began to rise. Meanwhile, Trump has continued to use Twitter as a platform as president. CNBC reported that Trump was the most tweeted about global leader in the world and the United States that year, citing Twitter data. Dorsey and Facebook's then CEO, Sheryl Sandberg, testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee in 2018 about alleged Russian-linked interference in the 2016 election. Trump and other Republicans became increasingly vocal about Twitter's and other social media sites' apparent political bias. Twitter is incentivized to keep all voices on the platform from a simple business perspective and to serve the public conversation, Dorsey said at the time. After that, the spread of misinformation dominated the online conversation as COVID-19 spread around the world, and Twitter's businesses continued to struggle. That same year means 2020. The service was hacked, and miscreants gained access to several high-profile accounts, including those of Joe Biden, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk. Twitter permanently banned Trump in 2021 for making inflammatory comments during the January riots in the United States Capitol, which, the company said, could lead to further incitement of violence. Trump claimed that Twitter employees coordinated with the Democrats and the radical left to remove my account from their platform to silence me. Later, Dorsey abruptly resigned as CEO and was succeeded by Parag Agrawal, the company's chief technology officer. And this year, Musk took over Twitter. Musk's attempts to implement various rules have been obvious failures. Twitter's infamous blue check marks have historically served to authenticate public figures' identities and protect against misinformation about people impersonating them. Elon Musk attempted to make changes to this feature, requiring people to pay $8 per month to receive the check mark. Problems arose from this poorly constructed plan due to a lack of regulations and a hasty implementation of changes, and the feature was quickly retracted. In recent years, several cracks have appeared in the way that Twitter works. So, what are the primary issues that Twitter's new CEO must address? What steps can he take to get things moving in the right direction? Number 1 is harassment and abuse. If you've been on Twitter for a while, you'll know that not everyone has good intentions. Unfortunately, many users receive a barrage of abuse in their mentions daily, regardless of whether they are ordinary people or well-known figures. Because of the abuse they receive, many prominent people have left Twitter. Twitter has taken action to combat harassment. Users, for example, can filter the mentions they see. Furthermore, in 2021, Twitter introduced Safety Mode, which allows you to temporarily block accounts that send offensive language or unwanted replies. However, there's still a long way to go before harassment becomes less common on the platform. Another significant issue is Twitter's profitability. Twitter is still one of the world's largest social media platforms. However, in recent years, it has faced intense competition from platforms such as TikTok. And while it has begun various innovations, it also needs to think a little more creatively. The company still has a large active user base and a valuable product. However, Twitter's profits increased by only 7% in 2020, totaling $3.7 billion. This amounted to $26 million in operating profits. Another issue is beginner friendliness. Once you understand how to use Twitter, the platform becomes much easier to use. However, it is challenging at first. Twitter is difficult to understand for a variety of reasons. One is that the majority of content is created by a small percentage of its users. Pew Research Center discovered that in 2019 that 10% of users were responsible for 80% of the content shared on their site. As a result, Twitter has numerous internal rules and social norms. Users struggle to understand these, as well as the jokes and information overload. Twitter has remained one of the most well-known social media platforms in recent years. Twitter has evolved into an extremely useful tool for businesses of all sizes, allowing them to interact with customers, stay current on trends, and promote their content and other website features. However, some issues will be resolved soon. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!